Sun is electric, the moon is magnetic. Sun is positively charged, giving you energy. The moon is negatively charged, taking away your energy. The sun and moon are the yin and yang moving around the magnetic North Pole. It's called the North Pole because it's a pole of electromagnetic energy. Above the North Pole is Polaris, the center star. The 7 planets are the 7 days of creation. Monday for the moon, Sunday for the sun, Saturday for Saturn, Thursday for Thor, which is the god of Jupiter. Sky is a giant clock. Stars tell you the month of the year. The moon tells you the day of the month. The sun tells you the time of the day. They want you to think you're on a random ball in space. Stars are not physical. Earth, water, air, fire, ether. Ether is the gateway between the physical and the spiritual realm. Daytime, you're in your physical body. When you dream, you're in your astral body. Now you know why the ancients always show you paintings of people flying in the sky. Because this is all symbolic of people in the astral plane, in the higher dimensions above our head. They told you the planets were physical to hide these higher dimensions that you have access to. The Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the sun in the 4 different states. Horus is the sun when it's rising. Horizon, Horus is rising. Word hours rearranged is Horus. Ra is the sun when it's radiant, when the sun is the most high, 12 noon. Set is the sun at 6 p.m. when the sun sets. Yearly cycle is a daily cycle. Spring is 6 a.m. Summer is 12. Autumn is when the sun sets. Nighttime is winter. Horus and Set is Jesus and Satan. Set, the ground animal, lower self. Horus, the bird, the air animal, the higher self. Egyptian scarab is a dung beetle. Rolls dung up and then down the hill, representing the sun rising and falling, hence why the Egyptians used the sun above him. The Vatican is a sundial, because Jesus is the sun with his 12 disciples. Why is it astronauts always do this symbolism? These are the only 3 monkey emojis. It symbolizes speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. Have you ever seen something horrible and it makes you shiver? Light is information. It enters the brain through the retinas of your eyes. This information affects your whole nervous system. Everything you see, touch, taste, hear and smell positively or negatively affects your nervous system and contributes towards shaping and molding your mind. And your mind shapes your reality. Astronauts do this because they're Freemasons and they know everything that enters them is shaping them in some form. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, people. Females are magnetic, they attract. Males are electric, they are the action taker. Everything is electromagnetic. Trees resemble brains. Their branches mirror electricity, which looks exactly like your nervous system because you are an electric technological being. The same fractal patterns appear on leaves, rivers, lightning. The sun gives life to the earth. Your soul gives life to your body. The sun is the universal soul. The day is life, the night is death. When you sleep, you enter your spirit astral body, death. When you're awake, you enter your material body, life. Death is just a greater version of sleep. That's why we say sleep is the cousin of death. You are the universe in miniature, a fragment of God. Why is it the Egyptians are obsessed with snakes? They've hidden this knowledge from you. Snakes shed their skin to remove old layers. They represent transformation. Kundalini is symbolized with snakes because you're transforming sexual energy to the brain. That's why the medical symbol uses a snake, because they transform your health back to healthy. Every ancient culture and religion uses snakes. They represent the ancient religion of ascension, transforming from a physical being to a spiritual being, low frequency to high frequency. These foods keep you in low frequency, hence why they're all red, orange and yellow for the lower 3 chakras. Snakes represent the ancient religion of mental or spiritual alchemy, turning lead into gold. Lead ruled by Saturn, physical matter. Gold ruled by the sun, enlightenment. Turning low-level desire and pleasure into wisdom, intuition and expression, raising your thoughts and consciousness out of the lower half of the body to the head. They've hidden the ancient religion of the snake to make you worship a god outside of yourself. Now they give you Allah and Jesus, which are in essence demons in the astral planes. Read the caption to understand that. If you want to learn symbolism, the masterclass is now available. Freemasons use this symbol, which is the same symbol for Apple Store, and X when it's mirrored. This symbol is a compass on top and a square below. The square creates a square which has beginning and an end. The compass creates a circle which has no beginning and no end. If the compass is the circle, which means spirit, and square is the square, which is matter, this symbolizes spirit over matter, the compass over the square. Leonardo da Vinci was showing you that you are a spiritual being in a material body. You are an individual. You have a physical body and a non-physical body. The voice in your head and the emotions you feel are eternal, but your physical body will die. The spiritual brain is the mind. The spiritual heart is the soul. The brain and heart are physical manifestations of the mind and soul. The aim is to climb the pyramid to higher consciousness, to your true spirit self, so that you can be spirit over matter and not matter over spirit. They show you these symbols in plain sight. These people are highly enlightened individuals. You will never have power if you don't have knowledge. Knowledge is the true currency of this life. The Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the different body parts of your body. Anubis represents the tongue. He's a dog with the barking because the power of life and death is in the tongue. Falcon of Horus is the inner brainstem. Osiris, the god of death and the underworld. He represents the reptilian brain, hence why he's green and has reptiles next to him. The reptilian brain is when our consciousness exists in death because we don't think. Horus with the circle on his head represents the limbic system in the brain. Amun-Ra is the hippocampus in the brain. Ra is where we get RAM. Computer has a RAM for memory, and the hippocampus in the brain is all to do with memory. This is the Lamb of God. Thoth, the god of wisdom, the one who preserves the ancient wisdom. Ibis bird is the sternum, which is the chest, which contains the treasure, which is our soul, our heart. Our heart contains the sacred knowledge. Sternum protects the heart, the treasure. He preserves the wisdom. The Ankh is the portal into the physical world, the uterus. The Bible even tells you that animals are deeply symbolic. Job 12:7. Ask the beasts of the field and they will teach you, the birds of heaven and they will tell you. Because each animal represents a part of the human experience. Snakes represent the wave of energy. The Egyptians saw each body part had a specific role in the human experience. And these parts of our body are very sacred. If you want to learn more, then read the Book of Wisdom, Volume 2. They've lied to you about geometry. Every frequency has its own geometric pattern. Physical matter is just low vibrating energy at a specific frequency. Everything is vibration, vibrating on a specific frequency, which creates a different geometric pattern. Everything contains geometry. They tell you this is God's mathematical codes behind this reality. The true geometry is within you. Brain is an energy decelerator. Nothing around you is physical, it's energy, and your brain condenses it into a reality that you can interact with. Light enters the eyes, it turns into electricity and goes to the optic nerve to the visual cortex, and it creates an image in the brain. Therefore, you are not in the world is within your brain and body. You're experiencing a simulation by your nervous system. Therefore, geometry is actually your brain's mathematical codes on turning energy into matter. These geometric patterns is basically your brain's way of decoding energy. Nothing is outside of you and you are projecting this reality, the creator and the programmer. Why is it the ancients were so obsessed with these mythical creatures? A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. This is the ancient Sumerians. A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. Even ancient Christians are seen with the same symbolism. We even see this on the tarot card as well. The lion is Leo, the man is Aquarius, the eagle an old symbol for Scorpio, and the bull is Taurus. In esoteric teachings, they teach you that you have 4 bodies, not one. You have a physical body, an emotional body, a spiritual body, and a mental body. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the physical body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. Aquarius is an air sign, which is the mind. These ancient creatures were not real, they're symbolic. And they're showing you the 4 bodies of the soul. Our soul is incarnated into these 4 separate bodies. Hence why Jesus has the 4 Gospels. This mythical creature is not a mythical creature, but a symbol of your soul. The mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, and the spiritual body. The bull, the ox, the man, and the lion. All in one creature, which is the soul incarnated into the 4 bodies. This is why the earth symbol is a cross and with the 4 sections and a circle. I think this is going to change how we see ancient civilizations. They knew the sacred science of the soul. Your soul is trapped in the physical dimension if you can't imagine. Imagination is not physical. You can't touch it. It's not made of atoms. It exists in a higher dimension of consciousness. Everything starts in the imagination before it becomes a physical reality. For example, Diddy's house. The design was in someone's vision, mental screen, before it was a physical reality. People think that their third eye is open because they feel energy and now they're awake. That's not it. The third eye is your inner screen. If you can't vividly picture a red apple in your mind, you're cut off from the fourth dimension. Activating the third eye means unlocking what Freemasons call the spirit vision. Freemasons know this. They call it the astral plane. Don't you think it's crazy how if you use your imagination nowadays, people say, oh, you're just using your imagination, and they call you crazy? Everything in this dimension was pulled out of the fourth dimension, the imagination. A vision first, then the physical world was just the effect. If you want to reconnect to the fourth dimension, comment ebook and I'll send you a free guide on how to do so. Freemasons wear this symbol, which is the same symbol for Gmail. The G is the Masonic G. The M is for the mother, because the woman holds a portal, a stargate into the physical world. That's why they wear it in the genital area. The mother makes you into matter, all M's. Once you are made into matter in the womb, she then delivers the male. Every single one of us came through the mother into the physical world. That's why they're so important. Feminine, nin is 9. Masculine, lin is line. 1 and 9 adds up to 10, which is the binary code of all creation. 0 is the cosmic womb. 1 is the masculine pillar. These are the only two numbers that truly exist. That's why man adds up to 10, and so does Adam, because we are made in perfection with the numbers. 6, 9. 6 is physical matter, the cube. 9 is spirit, spirit and matter combined. The woman combines your spirit with your physical body. If you feel lost and don't understand reality, read this book. Your head has this spiral, which is the Fibonacci sequence, which comes from the rotating fields of magnetism. Sound creates magnetic fields create electricity. The sound of you talking creates torus fields, which permeates the whole of creation. Everything manifests as a torus field. Literally everything, including yourself. Your heart is a vortex, and the pulsing sound of it creates this electromagnetic torus field around your body. If you looked down on this electromagnetic field, you'd see the flower or the lotus of life, which is the Fibonacci sequence. This field spirals inwards into the head and out on the feet or the torso. If you look down on your head, this is why you see this spiral. It comes from all of the spiraling of your electromagnetic field coming in the head, which is the crown chakra. Look at the symbol for the crown chakra. It's the flower, which has the same pattern as this. Your spirit is a spiral, a spiraling electromagnetic field. The Fibonacci sequence connects the macrocosm to the microcosm, because this will go for infinity. This means you are a microcosm of the macrocosm. You are God made flesh. You are the universe. They tell you that the sun hurts you, but they don't tell you that the old hospitals used to have sun decks, because the sun detoxifies you by giving you electromagnetic energy. They tell you about the magnetic fields of magnets, but they don't tell you about the magnetic field around your body. Disease shows up in this field before it manifests physically in your body. The sun is electric, the earth is magnetic, and you are electromagnetic. This is why the ancients had grounding shoes to ground to the magnetic earth. Canes were not just for fashion, they were used for conductors of electromagnetic energy to ground the body to the earth. Now we wear sunglasses to block the sun's healing rays to entering our nervous system. We have lost true connection with our true nature, been turned into electrical batteries running through a matrix circuit board. Next stage of the human awakening begins October 8th. This is a revolution of human consciousness. If you don't agree with this video, you are heavily programmed. I will never recover from these images that I've just found. Giants definitely existed. Take a look at the size of these people only around 100 years ago. Now imagine the size of these people around 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. They would have been 10 times bigger than this. The oxygen levels were way higher 1,000 years ago, so just imagine the size of these people. Now what I'm going to show you at the end is going to blow your mind. I think these people were purposely wiped out. Why do we not see them now? What happened to their genetics? Why have they not reached this generation? One thing that you may have not noticed, which is the fashion these people are wearing. Why has humanity lost their sense of beauty and classiness? I have yet to see one obese person in any of these images, which is absolutely crazy. They all look healthy, well-informed and well-mannered. Humanity has truly lost their ways. Now take a look at this. Maybe this is why the Egyptians showed giant people in their artwork, and maybe their statues were the true true size of these humans. I thank you all for being part of this journey. I've now hit 1 million followers on TikTok. There are 3 aspects of your consciousness: thoughts, emotions, and actions. If you align them all towards your goals, you will create the reality that you want. To celebrate, use the code WISDOM for 40% off the Book of Wisdom or anything in the store. Porn is free because you are the product. Releasing too much is making you become mineral deficient. Instead of being a loser, repost my content to earn 50% commission on every sale. My biggest affiliate grew his account from 50k to 264k just by posting my content. He's quite literally financially free off my products. You can sell the Book of Wisdom, the Human Health Guide, Book of Wisdom Volume 2 when it drops on October 8th. You can gain monthly subscription commissions if you get people to join the university. Click the link in my bio, go down to affiliate program, fill in your details, confirm your email, log in, copy and paste this link into your bio, or you can make your own link for each product. Click on it, copy, and go to get product link and copy and paste this link into here, and then click generate. This is your unique affiliate link, which takes you straight to the product that you chose. All of these people are doing the exact same thing and earning an income from their phone. Comment affiliate and I'll send you the link. Man managed to prove and reveal the terrible truth that we are all being watched. He conducted a simple experiment on Google Maps and its traffic congestion feature. Simon Weckert achieved this by collecting a total of 99 phones from friends, rental companies, and family. He then placed all of these phones in a cart and walked along the roads of Germany, which had virtually no traffic. Despite the lack of traffic, his phone showed that there was heavy amounts of traffic on the roads that he was walking on. From this, Simon calculated that Google Maps calculates traffic congestion based upon the amount of phones clustered in one area. His theory turned out to be correct, as all the cell phones were signaling heavy traffic on the empty roads he was walking on. This is quite scary because who knows what data they can collect about us through these devices. Is it a coincidence the word iPhone has I within it, which means the inner self? Our phones are pretty much extensions of our minds. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Jesus never turned water into wine. This is going to blow your mind. Jesus spoke all things to the crowd in parables. Matthew 13:34. It's a symbolic and allegorical story about you turning water into wine. Fire is masculine. Water is feminine. Masculine is intellect. Feminine is emotion. Water is symbolic for emotion. Thoughts are the language of the mind. Emotion is the language of the soul. Emotions are communication from your soul. If you are jealous of someone, this is your soul telling you where you need to be in life. Every fear you have is showing you an obstacle for you to grow, to expand into your life purpose. Water into wine is symbolic in turning negative emotions into growth and expansion, transmuting hate into love, jealousy into your reality. Jesus represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness in physical form. Jesus tells you, whatever I can do, you can do better in John 14:12. Jesus is you. Baptism is symbolic of moving from earth into water, the second stage of consciousness, truth. Dunking your head in water won't do anything. Baptism happens within. That's how powerful you are. Imagination is the key. Every physical object is born from the imagination. Magi nation. You're a magician. You're a magic nation. You bring thought into physicality. That's how powerful you are. And you must figure out that you are before this physical external reality. You weave your path. You weave your life through the thought and emotion. You are the creator of your reality. You need to take control of it. And if you don't take control of it, the programs they install in your mind will. If you don't control your reality, external reality will control you. Your circumstances are an externalization of your thought. You have thought your way into this reality. Therefore, you must think your way out of your circumstances. Your circumstances. You live in a square home with square windows, and when you are home, you turn on your square TV, or you look at your square phone. When you go outside, you see square buildings. What is it with all of these squares around us? Observing the ancient buildings, they never used to build square rooms or square buildings. You will also never see a square in nature. Or did you know what you see creates your perception of reality? What you take in visually is quite literally shaping and molding your mind. In geometry, the square is the most limited shape, and it is the most simplest shape. Maybe this is done on purpose to lower our mind's potential so that we can be simple. The ancients never built in squares because they understood how energy works. They built pointed roofs so that all of the energy can escape at a singular point. Cubed rooms trap energy. All of our arguments and emotional energy is stuck within the atmosphere of our cubed rooms. Let me know what you think about this one. Thank you to everyone who joined the subscription. Planets are not spinning balls in space. They are lights within the firmament. The 7 planets give you the 7 chakras, the 7 metals, the 7 days of the week, Monday for the moon, Saturday for Saturn, Sunday for the sun. That's why Christians celebrate their God on Sunday, because Jesus is the sun. 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs. Sun is your soul. Jesus is the soul inside of you. Jesus represents universal consciousness made human, which is you. 7 planets are the 7 energies that create this universe. 7 days of creation for the 7 planets. The roots are made by Saturn, the leaves are made by the moon, the fruit is made by Jupiter, the stems made by the sun. Everything in the universe is governed by a celestial body. They worship Saturn because Saturn rules time. Saturn is all about conditioning. The stars are inside of you, they are aspects of your consciousness. You are heaven and earth brought together, spirit and matter. The soul system is within you, these are the energies of the soul. Your body's a universe and your consciousness is God. Revelation 1:20, the 7 stars are the 7 angels of the churches. Can't land on a planet, they are luminous, they are lights, and they exist within you. As above, so below. This book literally tells you everything. It's called the Book of Wisdom. The link is in my bio. Bless means be less you. A soldier is a soul dyer. You are weakened on the weekend from the weekdays. Days is unable to think in a state of confusion. On the weekdays you work a job, which is Hebrew for persecuted. On that job you earn. An urn is a vessel for the ashes of the dead. Awake is a wake. A wake is a gathering that takes place before a funeral. Hollywood is the holy wood, the wood from a holly tree. This wood was used to create magic wands. They cast spells to a broad audience through the television, through the Hollywood programs. The bottom of the foot is called the soul, and your heel is hell. Your soul is in hell. You must raise your consciousness to the head, heaven. Heel is hell, earth rearranged as heart, and head is heaven. They're inside of you, not external places. They teach you to say the vowels in this order, A-E-I-O-U, to train you to become a slave. They want you to think slaughter is laughter. English language is full of hidden spells. Join my free Telegram chat. You don't need caffeine, you need charging. You are an electromagnetic battery, and you have no energy because you're not charging your field. This is the force that gives you energy and life. This will give you electromagnetic energy because it's charged by the electromagnetic sun and grows out the electromagnetic earth. Coffee doesn't give you energy. The energy levels you get off coffee is the side effect of the toxic reaction it has with your body. It's a short-term effect that gives you fake energy. Real energy comes from grounding, the sunlight, and eating electromagnetic food. Coffee is toxic for your nervous system. They'll teach you about minerals and vitamins, but never tell you the most basic thing about the human body is that it runs off electricity. It's a technological machine. Stop praying to Jesus. Instead, do this in Mark 11. Whatever ye pray for, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. This is powerful because it tricks your subconscious mind into believing that you have something before you actually have it. And 90% of your actions on a daily basis are the same as yesterday because of the programs in the subconscious. The reason why people's lives are so messed up is because they're praying from a place of negativity, which is tricking their subconscious. They want this. It takes everything you say as truth. Why do you think the golden rule is to treat others like you want to be treated? It's because of the subconscious. Jesus says in John, "In that day you will no longer ask me anything." Because Jesus understood you have the creative power of God of manifesting your own reality. This has even been proven. Your consciousness interacts with an energy grid around you, reflecting your internal states. Essentially, your brain is a supercomputer, simulating a holographic reality, and your thoughts and emotions alter the fabric of reality. When you're not observing something, it exists as a light wave. When your consciousness interacts with it, it collapses it into a particle, into a reality. When Jesus says, I am the light of the world, it's the I am within you is the light of the world. We are all the universe itself experiencing its own reality. Volume 2 will be available soon. Join the email list to be notified when it's available. The Olympic ceremony mocks the Last Supper. After their mocking, everything went down in a power outage. The only thing that remained is this lit up church. Everyone now thinks that Jesus is speaking and now coming back, but this is just another psyop. The Bible even says God's kingdom is in heaven, and then says the kingdom of God is within you, which means heaven and the kingdom of God is a state of mind and consciousness. There is no man in the sky going to save you. God's power of transmuting thought into physical reality is inside of you. The Olympic ceremony was just another psyop to push religion onto the masses so that you externalize your creative power of God. Everything you see physical is an effect of a thought. Everything began as a thought in the divine mind. Therefore, you are a thought in the mind of God, and you yourself possess a microcosm of the mind of God. Every thought you've had in the past has led you to this very point. Therefore, your external world is a projection from the mind. Don't fall for religion. The only religion is within you, and God is inside of you, people. Noah's Ark never existed. It's a metaphoric story about you. Noah's Ark is in your brain. Noah meets God on a mountain. The mountain is your spine, and God is your consciousness. The mountain represents a heightened state of awareness, a higher consciousness. That's why Moses goes on a mountain to meet with God. God then floods the earth to kill all flesh. Earth rearranged is heart. Desire comes from the heart, and he flooded the earth, which is the heart, with water, which represents truth and enlightenment. God never killed everyone on the earth. It's metaphorical for you killing the desire of flesh and the desire of physical things and replenishing the heart. In order to progress spiritually and mentally, you have to heal the heart, because this is where all of your desire comes from. You must become God to know God. How can you know God if you are desiring the worldly physical things? All religion stems from the mastery of yourself to become God. None of the characters in the Bible existed. None of the stories are true stories. It's all metaphorical, written in code to how you raise yourself out of the lower carnal mind. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom. Water is emotion. Jesus never turned water into wine. He transmuted negative emotion to a positive emotion. Water into wine. It's a parable talking about purifying your internal state and raising your frequency. A sin is not an act, it's an emotion. An emotion that stops you from reaching the higher states of consciousness. 7 deadly sins are internal states that lower your frequency. Baptism is a lie. The 4 elements correspond with your state of consciousness. Pouring water on your head, you moved from the earth element, the lower state of consciousness, into the water, which is the purification of one's consciousness. Water symbolizes the first stage of awakening and the purification process. Then fire represents your full transformative awakening. Air represents communication and the mental aspect of your consciousness. And spirit is the highest state. Most people are operating on the surface level of their consciousness. You are consciousness. Your body is not you. There is a battle between your consciousness and your body, the flesh and God. You must crucify yourself and sacrifice yourself by giving up your ego and fleshly desire to God. 5 wounds on the cross are the 5 senses. You must give up material desire to your consciousness to be born again. Ethereal University will give you long-form lectures, plus a library filled with occult books. The sun is your soul. Winter is the mind. Summer is the spirit. Spring is the body. Autumn is your emotions. 4 cycles of the sun are the 4 bodies of your soul. As above, so below. What happens in the outer world happens in your inner world. The seasons of the sun happen within you, not just outside. In the winter, you're in the mind. You're more reflective and thinking. In the summer, you're in your spirit. You're more passionate and have drive. The autumn is your emotions. You're more emotional. In the spring, you're starting to do more physical things with the physical body. These 4 seasons happen within you. They change your consciousness. You are not a human in a universe. You are the universe experiencing itself in human form. You are Jesus with the 12 disciples, the sun with the 12 constellations. You are God. And your body is a temple for the divine essence of the universe to experience this physical reality. Knowledge is power, and without it, you are lost. You are far more than what you think. I'm not teaching you, I'm simply pointing these things out for you to realize about yourself. We don't live on a spinning monkey ball in space. Please do your research. What you are seeing here is how music is a form of magic. This is the effect of vibration and frequency being played into some form of liquid. 80% of your body is water, which is a liquid. Any form of music can influence your thoughts and emotions and your intent. That's why in Islam it's haram. Your life is an externalization of your mind. Music is hypnosis, putting you in a hypnotic trance, making you move, feel different emotions and think different thoughts, contributing towards shaping and molding your mind, which then ends up in shaping your external reality. Programs the storehouse of your mind, the subconscious. This is why you remember the lyrics so vividly. The feeling of nostalgia when listening to an old song is a form of a memory loop. Modern day music is a form of propaganda, which is molding the minds of society. This is a war, but the battlefield is in the mind. The mind is the most powerful tool that you've been given. There is nothing that you can't think of because there are infinite possibilities with the mind. Protect your mind at all costs. The devil is the deveiling of your consciousness when your mind is stuck in a physical reality. Lust, food, money, fame, power. This is the devil. Red is the lowest vibrational color on the color spectrum, which corresponds to the surface level of your consciousness. He has goat horns symbolizing an animal. This is the animal nature of human consciousness. Red symbolizes rage, which is the lack of emotional control. Deep down within you, you are the fabric of the universe itself. You have the ability to create, turn thought into physical existence. This pencil was a thought before it was a physical reality. You possess the power of creation. You can use this for good or evil. Do evil is the devil and God is good. Reptilians do not exist. We're not being controlled by reptiles. There are 3 parts of the brain. The reptilian brain is mainly used when one is using survival needs. This is the instinctual part of your nature. People who control this world are mainly operating in their reptilian brain. It's all a metaphor. It's all scarcity to make you fear. Head is the heaven, earth is the heart, and heel is the hell. These are all states of consciousness. So is God and so is the devil. The church is a scam. The devil doesn't exist. The devil is your own aspect of your mind, tempting you to engage in low-level pleasures. Santa is Satan. So this is Santa with the reindeers, and this is the god Saturn, also known as Saturno. The Roman god Santa is always depicted with a long grey beard, holding a scythe in his hand because he's the god of harvesting and time. In ancient Rome, they celebrated something called Saturnalia, a festival dedicated to the god Saturn. And this took place in December, just like Christmas. The summer times governed by the sun, the winter times governed by Saturn. Summer is life, the winter is death. December and winter is when the most deaths occur. So many people die in December. This is when Saturn harvests the souls. Christmas is actually Saturnalia, which is a celebration of death. Don't you think it's weird how we celebrate the winter death instead of having a celebration in the summer life? Symbolism literally doesn't lie. The word Saturn is Satan. Now, of course, Saturn is not a real human with a long beard. This is all symbol. Freemasons use this symbol, which is the same symbol for Apple Store, and X when it's mirrored. This symbol is a compass on top and a square below. The square creates a square which has beginning and an end. The compass creates a circle which has no beginning and no end. If the compass is the circle, which means spirit, and square is the square, which is matter, this symbolizes spirit over matter, the compass over the square. Leonardo da Vinci was showing you that you are a spiritual being in a material body. You are an individual. You have a physical body and a non-physical body. The voice in your head and the emotions you feel are eternal, but your physical body will die. The spiritual brain is the mind. The spiritual heart is the soul. The brain and heart are physical manifestations of the mind and soul. The aim is to climb the pyramid to higher consciousness, to your true spirit self, so that you can be spirit over matter and not matter over spirit. They show you these symbols in plain sight. These people are highly enlightened individuals. You will never have power if you don't have knowledge. Knowledge is the true currency of this life. Use code 25OFF for the next 12 hours. After 12 hours, it will be going down to 15% off. You don't need food, you need charging. There are many different ways you can charge the body, like grounding or standing next to trees. You are a biological battery. When you feel hungry, this is not hunger. It's your body getting rid of waste from the colon. It's important that you fast. After 48 hours of fasting, your body starts to produce stem cells to regenerate itself. Your body will start to eat itself and kill all the bad cells. The human body is an electromagnetic technological machine. Every cell in your body conducts electricity. You need electrical food that's grown under the electric sun because you are an electrical battery. The sun's electric power is crystallized within the food. You are a light being, a hue meaning light and a man meaning manifested. You are light manifested. This is real food. You need electric food to charge your electric body. You don't need dead flesh. This is why you get charged in a court, because you're an electric battery. And when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This field shows sickness before your physical body is actually sick. The strength of your field has a correlation with your health. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. You need positive thoughts and emotions to strengthen this field. If you want to learn more, this book will tell you everything. You don't need. Lucifer is Venus. Lucifer in the Bible is the son of the morning, or the morning star. Just before the sunrise every morning, Venus shows up. Venus is the morning star. The 7 planets are 7 spiritual forces that create the physical universe. Saturn rules the roots. The sun rules the stem. Jupiter rules the fruit. Mercury's the messenger, the intelligence behind the tree. The moon governs the leaves. And Venus governs the beauty, the looks, and the smell of the tree. That's why the sigil of Lucifer is the visual field, because Lucifer or Venus governs the visual aspect of reality. That's why he's known as the light bearer or the false light. Because this world is the false reality, the false light. And the false light can trick you into materialism, pulling you away from your true spiritual form. Lucifer is a metaphor about your consciousness falling for the material plane. The physical world is a veil which can turn you evil, because you are not from here. The Matrix is keeping you in love with the material plane, which leaves you feeling soulless and empty inside. Stop chasing low-level pleasures and learn to transform yourself to find your power. Start your transformation today before the price increases for the university. You have 5 fingers for the 5 elements. The skull corresponds with the elements. The jaw represents the earth. Water goes on top of the earth in the mouth. Air goes through the nose, fire is light in the eyes, and spirit is the 3rd eye. The 4 physical elements are the 4 vibrational states of the ether or spirit. 5 points on the body for the 5 elements. Ether or spirit is the base of all physical matter. The 4 elements are the 4 vibrational states of the ether. It's the most important one, and that's why it's always on the top. That's why the middle finger is swearing, because they hid the ether. Satanic people turn this upside down to put spirit on the bottom, because they are materialists. They represent Saturn. This symbol is not evil. The word scared is sacred for a reason, because they've made you scared of all the sacred symbols. This symbol represents the 5 elements of creation. If you want to advance in your life, I am now doing private one-on-one consultations. If you wish to talk to me, let's go on a call. Dreams carry messages. Dreaming is a low-powered astral projection. You are leaving the physical body, the conscious mind, into the subconscious realms of the astral imagination realm. Astral plane is the screen in your mind that allows you to imagine an apple. If you see Jesus in your dream, this is not Jesus. It is your belief materializing in the 4th dimension, the imagination realm. You know when you have them dreams when people are chasing you? This is a negative aspect of your mind which is materializing itself. All of the trauma, all of the negative events that have happened are stored within your subconscious, and these are materializing itself and showing it to you in your dreams. Everything in your dream is an aspect of your own mind, therefore it is showing you messages. If you cannot control your dreams, this is your subconscious controlling the dream. You can't control your dreams because you think it's just a dream, when it's not. It's actually a whole other reality. You are a multi-dimensional consciousness. You must remove the program of it's just a dream. Before you go to sleep, consciously think and feel and believe that you will control your dream. Throughout the day, you need to be doing reality checks by pinching yourself and saying, am I dreaming? This will train your subconscious mind to say this while you are dreaming, and when you pinch yourself in your dream, you will become lucid. Once you are lucid, you can then go gain knowledge and do whatever you want in the realms of the mind. Whatever you do, never look into a mirror. Jesus never existed. The Last Supper is astrology. Each body part is ruled by a zodiac. Aries the lamb rules the head, which is why he's on the head of the table. Taurus rules the neck. He has a very thick neck for Taurus the bull. The next sign is Gemini. Gemini is the two arms, the two twins. That's why his hands are up for the two twins. Next sign is Cancer the crab with pinchers. He's holding a knife for the pincher of Cancer. The next sign is Leo when the sun is powerful, radiant and summer. That's why he's showing dominance with a clenched fist and an elbow on the table. The next sign is Virgo the virgin. He's pointing that there's no Adam's apple. This is a woman of Virgo the virgin. Jesus is the sun, the light of the world, the risen savior, the son of God. He's placed in a triangle to symbolize the sun's rays. One hand up for the daytime, one hand down for the taking away of the sun at nighttime. Libra is when the sun is balanced between summer and the winter. That's why Libra is the balanced scales, and the symbol is a half-rising sun. That's why he's holding his arms out balanced. Next sign is Scorpio with this man pointing upwards. Scorpio is our reproductive sexual organs. He's pointing up because you must raise your sexual energy up to Aries. That's why Aries is an anagram for arise. They're in 4 groups of 3 because there are 3 months in each season. Luke, Mark, John and Matthew. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Jesus is the sun, which is our soul. Spring is our physical body. Summer is our spirit. Fall is our emotions. Winter. They've lied to you about geometry. Every frequency has its own geometric pattern. Physical matter is just low vibrating energy at a specific frequency. Everything is vibration, vibrating on a specific frequency, which creates a different geometric pattern. Everything contains geometry. They tell you this is God's mathematical codes behind this reality. The true geometry is within you, and I'm going to explain it in a minute. Firstly, you need to understand the brain is an energy decelerator. Nothing around you is physical, it's energy, and your brain condenses it into a reality that you can interact with. Light enters the eyes, it turns into electricity and goes to the optic nerve to the visual cortex, and it creates an image in the brain. Therefore, you are not in the world is within your brain and body. You're experiencing a simulation by your nervous system. Therefore, geometry is actually your brain's mathematical codes on turning energy into matter. These geometric patterns is basically your brain's way of decoding energy. Everything they teach you is external to keep you looking outside yourself, but it's all internal. You are God in human form. The problem with the world is that we lack understanding of who we are, and what we are doing in this physical reality. Religion is just a way to externalize the God inside of you into someone else that you can worship to give away your power. Jesus and Satan are aspects of your consciousness, the higher mind and the lower mind. They just made a character out of it. Sugar in your teeth is called a cavity. Sugar in a baby's brain is called ADHD. Sugar in an adult's brain is called dementia. Sugar in your skin is called acne. Sugar in your body is called cancer. Sugar in your blood is called diabetes. Sugar in your eyes is called glaucoma. Seed oils in your skin is called sunburn. Smelly breath is rotting food in your gut. Sugar and alcohol kills good gut bacteria. Music is me and you sick, because frequency is the only few forces that can penetrate your consciousness and body without your consent. Alcohol means body eating spirit, alcohol. That's why a jinn is called a jinn, a spirit. Alcohol is a magic potion that contains spirit. Every time you cut yourself, your body heals with a scab. Your body's a self-healing technological machine. Just like how your body makes a scab, your body knows how to heal anything wrong with it. You just have to give the body the right environment for it to heal. Remove meat, dairy and all unnatural foods and consume alkaline foods. Start to fast. After 2 days of fasting, your body starts to produce stem cells to regenerate the body. If you have any of these problems, then you need to detox. Your body is the most advanced piece of technology on the face of the earth. There is not one thing that can replicate the complexity of your body. So look after it. Porn is free because you pay with your soul. Google is free because you pay with your data. When something is free, you are the product. They have 2 O's because they're watching your data. Your phone is a digital footprint of your mind. Every text you take, every person you call, every search that you type in is being recorded in a database. Therefore, your phone is tracking the collective minds of the masses. All of our behavior is being fed into an artificial consciousness, AI. You created AI by feeding your mind into these tracking devices. AI will control everything and make you a slave. Don't let your phone be a prison for your mind. That's why it's called a cell phone. Instead, spread the word to the world by reposting these videos that I make and earn an income from your phone. Many of my affiliates have quit their job, earning freedom, making an income from their phone. It's not about the money, it doesn't exist. It's the freedom you can gain from it. and live the life that you truly want to live. Click sign up, fill in the form, download my videos, and repost the videos. I've made this program for you so you can gain freedom and so we can spread an amazing message to the world. The link is in my bio to sign up. Israel is not the Holy Land. The Holy Land is within you. Isis, Ra, and El. Isis, the feminine right brain. Ra, the masculine left brain. El comes from Elohim, which means God. When the two hemispheres of your brain come together and work as one electrical system, you're left with pure consciousness, which can lead to out-of-body experiences. Even the Bible tells you to astral project, rather be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Corinthians 5:8. The Bible says, I know a man in Christ who was caught up in the third heaven. Physical, etheric, astral. This is astral projection. Whether in the body or out of the body, I do not know. Corinthians 12:2. This is why the Sumerian gods had two faces, and the 33rd degree symbol has two eagle faces, because it symbolizes having mastery over the physical and the astral body. You can quite literally live while people sleep. Leaving your physical body puts you in the fourth dimension, the astral plane, which is the screen you have in your mind that allows you to imagine a red apple. As a child, you could imagine very vividly because you came from the fourth dimension. As you grew older, you lost this ability to imagine. Your consciousness is pure light, and through the intent and focus of your mind, you can focus this light into a form, which is what we call imagination, the fourth dimension. That's why I put together a free guide which gives you practical methods to enhance your inner vision. Anyone can get this, it's for free, and it's basically a teaching from Ethereal University. Why is it the ancient gods all carry this bag alongside with a pine cone? Even the Pope carries a pine cone. Vatican has the pine cone with the dome. Bags are the carrier of things and they can be passed on, and it's always carried in their left hand. In the Kabbalah, the right represents wisdom, the left represents knowledge. This represents the carrier of secret knowledge of how to activate the pine cone. The left is the knowledge, the right is the applied knowledge, wisdom. Pine cones can be open or they can be closed. Pine is pin, which is the pineal gland, a spiritual gland in the brain which acts as an antenna for our consciousness. You have a physical body and a spiritual body, but most humans are stuck in their physical form. This bag is the secret knowledge of how to activate our spiritual body by activating our pineal gland, going from asleep to awakened, from darkness to the light, from hell to heaven. Pineal gland is not the third eye. Pineal gland is an antenna, a receiver of consciousness. The mind is the third eye. I have a free guide of activating the inner eye on my website. This guide contains teachings from my university. I'm looking for serious students who are interested in occult and esoteric teachings to join my community. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Matthew 21:12, Jesus went into the temple of God. Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are the temple of God? Jesus entered within himself to go to God, which is why he tells you to meditate in Luke 6:6. When thou prayest, enter in thine inner chamber, and having shut thy door, the inner chamber, the inner self. Shutting the door is taking no thought, which is exactly what Jesus says, therefore take no thought, in Matthew 6:34. He says this 5 times because you have 5 senses. You must turn off the 5 senses and take no thought. When you turn off activity, thought, and emotion, you connect with pure consciousness, which allows you to meet the Lord in the air, Theologians 4:17. Earth is the body, water is emotion, fire is spirit, air is the mind. Raise yourself up to the air, enter in the mind. All your life you've been thinking. When you stop thinking, you open up other aspects of your consciousness. The church does not want you to know this, to keep your soul trapped in the physical plane. You need to go from hell to heaven, heel to head, matter to spirit. Join the university if you want to become enlightened. We have a library, manifestation course, Q&As and lectures every week. The planets are not spinning balls in space. They are lights in the firmament. They give you the 7 chakras, the 7 days of the week, the 7 days of creation, and the 7 metals. Gold is a physical crystallization of the sun. That's why banks are backed by gold, because the sun is the soul of the solar system. It gives life to all things. Silver is a physical manifestation of the moon's energy. energy. Mercury gives you mercury, Saturn gives you lead. Low vibrating light turns into matter, high vibrating matter turns back into light. Everything's made out of light. That's why the ancients were decked out in jewelry. By wearing the metal, you can harness the energy of each planet. The planets are different aspects of consciousness. They are energies, emotional states, and levels of awareness that manifest all conditions in the external and internal world. These are the Elohim. Read this book if you want to know more. My YouTube might help you understand this. You do not see into reality. The eyes are black holes. They suck in the light in the images produced at the back of the brain called the visual cortex. This is because the universe is a mental projection, and it's the number one law in the Kabbalion that all is mind, the universe is mental. You never actually feel the external world. When you touch something, this is your brain's interpretation of electrical signals on your nervous system. You touch, taste, smell, hear, and see with your brain. You're not in the world. The world is being simulated from the brain and the body. It's a piece of technology. Your body is the earth. The sun is your soul. The moon represents your mind. Your body is an advanced VR headset which produces a simulation. You are the universal mind, the observer behind your thoughts, emotions, and senses. There is only one of us in the universe, and that is God. The one consciousness is what gives life to every single living life form. There is only one consciousness, there is only one God, and there is only one number, which is the number 1, which is the letter I. The I am within you is the universal consciousness, which is God. Government, they govern your ment, your mind. Your environment is a product of your mind, and the elements exist in your mind, and they advertise to your ment, your mind. There is not one thing you can't think of. Every possibility exists in the mind. The mind is an infinite metaphysical consciousness. Your brain is a supercomputer. They're not the same thing. The Book of Wisdom explains everything. Sex is sacred energy exchange. Your DNA and energy is exchanged, creating an emotional bond on the astral plane, which connects your soul with their soul, their emotions with your emotions. Don't have sex with just anyone. Their trauma and emotions can affect you. Sex is a sacred ritual which invokes a soul into the physical world, because the woman holds a portal and the man holds the key to open the portal from the astral into the physical plane. Performing sex with a negative mindset will invoke a negative soul. You must perform the ritual properly. Don't waste your sexual energy. This energy creates a human life. Transmute it to create something else. You shouldn't release unless you're making a baby. Releasing is making you mineral deficient and flooding your brain with dopamine, which is the brain's reward system. Releasing is tricking yourself that you've achieved something. This is why you have no drive, no passion, no energy, because you're tricking your brain that you've achieved something already. Women store DNA from every man they've made love with, which could even affect their offspring. In order for creation, there must be destruction. The woman goes through pain to give birth to a beautiful child. Every time you release, you're killing your creativity, your drive. Don't have sex with just anyone, and don't release your fluids. Mineral deficiency is linked to balding. I'll see you inside of Ethereal University. If you join now, you get a free sexual alchemy course before the price goes. If you smoke tobacco, you're addicted to the spirit of tobacco. That spirit has control over your consciousness. Smoking is witchcraft. Every plant has a spirit, a consciousness. Burning the plant releases the essence, the spirit of that plant. Inhaling the smoke is inhaling the spirit of that plant, which is infusing that consciousness with yours and making you become high. Witchcraft is not evil. It can be used for good and bad. Smoking the devil's lettuce can be used for good and bad. You invoke the spirit of the plant. If you smoke lettuce with a bad mindset, you're invoking anxiety spirit. If you smoke with a positive, high vibrational mindset, you open your consciousness. You are the magician. You are the invoker of the spirit. Smoking plants with no self-control will invoke the spirit to control you. If you're going to smoke lettuce, use it to meditate and access deep meditation, or use it in ritual to reprogram your subconscious. Whatever you do, never smoke on a full moon, and stop using it to escape reality. Use it to open up your consciousness or to reflect on your life and access deep thought. Doing it every day will just make you lazy and you'll get nowhere in life. The link is in my bio for the free Telegram for free content. get charged in a court because you're a battery, and then go to a prison cell, which is a battery cell where it holds your energy. They are harvesting your energy in prison. If you astral project and go to a prison, you'll see this for yourself. Energy cannot escape cubes. Everything today is built in cubes to trap energy. The ancients knew this. This is why their rooms were never square. They had pointed roofs for energy to escape. Everything you see molds your mind in some form or way. Cubes and squares are the most limited shapes. By seeing cubes and squares all the time, this is subconsciously limiting our minds. The ancients built with beauty and sophistication because they understood what they see has an effect on their mind. They changed this to dull us down, to make things more simple, to make you more simple. Environment, it's all mental, it all has an effect on your mind. I think you can work this one out yourself. Minds are expanding and people are progressing inside of the ethereal university. Do not stay in the shadow of ignorance. Progress your life with knowledge, people. Parents are a pair who rents. Because you don't own your child, you sign them away using a signature. You signed your nature with a sigil. A sigil is a symbol used in witchcraft. Oh my God! You are born into this world, and the word born comes from barren, which means lifeless, dull, and boring. Then you are controlled by the government, the governmentality. They control your mind. Everything physical began as a thought in the thinking mind. The mind is the root cause of reality, so they control your mind, not your body. They do this by broadcasting spells to north, east, west, and south, the news. My God! Wow! Then they teach you the vowels in this specific order, A, E, I, O, U, to teach you that you owe them to become a slave. You are weak in the weekdays because you are working. Where you were a king, you are no longer a king if you are working. Then on the weekend, you are weakened from the weekdays. Days is a daze where you are in a state of confusion. The television is used to tell a vision, to program you on the programs. They want you to think slaughter is laughter, hello is hell is low. Words are swords because they mold your mind. They also create three-dimensional sound waves which impacts the fabric of matter. I believe that we were never meant to use words. Language has been manipulated so that we no longer use telepathy because we are all connected on the mental plane. We still have telepathic powers which we call intuition. If you're using AirPods, your brain is being attacked by electromagnetic radiation. Your hair is an antenna for the nervous system, which picks up frequencies and energy. Radiation from these Bluetooth devices are destroying your nervous system. It's also destroying the energy field around your body. Every cell in your body has an electromagnetic field. All of these cells come together and form the overall electromagnetic field. Radiation from these devices are causing inflammation in cells, which then causes your field to become weaker, which then causes your body to become ill. It is said that the strength of the field is directly correlated to the health of the body. Some studies show that illness shows up in this field before it manifests in the body. Therefore, illness may not be something that we catch. It's the result of us lowering our frequency to match the frequency of illness. That's why in this book, there is a frequency for every single illness that exists. By listening to the frequency, we're healing our field, which will then heal our physical body. So to save your health and your energy field and your nervous system, use Wired as much as possible. If you want more in-depth content about personal things and how to progress in life, join the exclusive. Or join the other 22,000 people in my Telegram. Alcohol means body-eating spirit, al-Kul in Arabic. That's why vodka is called spirits. A jinn is a jinn, which is another type of spiritual entity. Alcohol was developed by alchemists who developed a way of extracting spirits from liquid. Alcohol is a form of a magic potion which the ancients used to alter their consciousness. They don't tell you about the astral and etheric plane, the realms beyond physical. Alcohol contains ethanol, which is ethanol, which is the barrier between the physical and the astral plane. Ancient magicians used potions to enhance their speed, strength, or whatever they want. Alcohol is a demonic potion which enhances aggression and violence because you're being possessed by these entities in the astral plane. Alcohol weakens your vibrational field, which allows these entities to enter your body. This is why people change to dark behaviors when they're intoxicated. The entities within them engage in violence and low-level sexual encounters. The whole world is drinking magic potions used for witchcraft. Why do you think you can buy alcohol in every shop and there's a pub on every street? Alcohol also weakens the immune system, kills brain cells, and reduces amounts of oxygen to reach the brain. Magic never disappeared. It was veiled in myths and stories to make it seem like a fantasy. 24-hour sale. Use the code HAPPY to save 15% on the Book of Wisdom. Clothes are magnetic. Every cell in your body has a magnetic field. Everything is made out of electromagnetic fields. This is the true model of the atom. The clothes you wear carry magnetic energy. This is the reason why all of the ancients only wore linen robes. Because the frequency of natural fabrics are very high. These are not just fabrics, they are frequency, they are vibrational energy. Synthetic fabrics lower your frequency, and they leak microplastics into the pores in your skin. The Egyptians, Sumerians, Mayans all wore jewelry because they understood the frequency of metals. By wearing jewelry in certain places, we are enhancing the energy flow in the meridian in that area of the body. If we have wrist pain, we can wear copper around the wrist, which will enhance the frequency. Cells create organs, the organs create systems, and the system creates the body. Every cell, every organ, and every system has its own magnetic field, and this creates the overall magnetic field. That's why you have an anatomy. You are a giant atom. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying I wear linen all the time, but maybe this is something that we should consider. Our consciousness, our energy is affected by these magnetic fields. You see, knowledge is power. When you don't know these things, you have no influence. This book will give you understanding of who you are, where you are, and what you are. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Matthew 21:12, Jesus went into the temple of God. Then it goes to say in Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are the temple of God? This is why the side of your head's called a temple, because the kingdom of God is within you. Christians aren't even following the word of Jesus, they're following the word of the church. Jesus tells you to meditate. When you pray, enter into the inner chamber and shut the door. The inner chamber is the inner part of your brain, your mind. Shutting the door is turning off the mind. Jesus says take no thought 5 times in Matthew chapter 6. Because you have 5 senses. Jesus is telling you to turn off the 5 senses and meditate. When you turn off the body and thought, other aspects of your consciousness can open up and connect with God. Jesus was a mystic telling you to go within yourself, not a God to worship. The church is the biggest scam. No man in the sky will ever save you. The devil does not exist. This book will literally tell you everything. Use the code WISDOM, all capital letters, for 40% off. You don't need food, you need charging. There are many different ways you can charge the body, like grounding or standing next to trees. You are a biological battery. When you feel hungry, this is not hunger. It's your body getting rid of waste from the colon. It's important that you fast. After 48 hours of fasting, your body starts to produce stem cells to regenerate itself. Your body will start to eat itself and kill all the bad cells. The human body is an electromagnetic technological machine. Every cell in your body conducts electricity. You need electrical food that's grown under the electric sun because you are an electrical battery. The sun's electric power is crystallized within the food. You are a light being, a hue meaning light and a man meaning manifested. You are light manifested. This is real food. You need electric food to charge your electric body. You don't need dead flesh. This is why you get charged in a court, because you're an electric battery. And when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This field shows sickness before your physical body is actually sick. The strength of your field has a correlation with your health. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. You need positive thoughts and emotions to strengthen this field. If you want to learn more, this book will tell you everything. There is nothing holy about Israel. It's an allegory. Isis, Ra, and El, left feminine and right masculine brains. When these two electrical forces unify and become the Star of David, this is when you unlock El, which means God, consciousness. The Holy Land is your consciousness. It's an elevated state of consciousness. Why do you think Moses went up on a mountain to meet with God? It's an allegory for raising your frequency, raising your consciousness, to altering it beyond physical. Noah's Ark, he goes on the mountain with God and kills all of the flesh. It's allegorical for raising your consciousness and killing the desire for physical flesh and physical material things, because your mind is not a part of the physical plane. It's a higher dimension. The mind is God. The Bible's written in allegorical code so that it engages us to use our right brains and decipher things and engage in critical thinking. Today, we're just given everything. We're given information. This is why we're so stupid. We need to use our right brains and decipher symbols. This is why the ancients were so advanced. You're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because your brain and your heart are directly connected. The cranial brain does the thinking, but every thought you think produces an emotion felt in the heart. In fact, the heart has its own neural network with 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same cells found in the cranial brain. Therefore, the heart is the second brain. However, the cranial brain has two hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause dualism and confusion. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the cranial brain. However, the heart does not have two hemispheres, it's a singular organ. So when you say follow your heart, this has a deep meaning, because the heart is the tablet that tells you what is right and what is wrong. When you hurt someone, you can feel it in your heart. The heart is the moral law within you that tells you what is right and what is wrong. That's why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. When you follow your heart long enough, this takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to connect to our heart intelligence. All you have to do is turn off the cranial thoughts, put your hand on your heart, and listen to the emotional intelligence. They don't want us connected to our hearts because this is where love and empathy comes from, and this is where our true life purpose resides. The Book of Wisdom Volume 2 is now available. You can get it in hardback exclusive edition or just paperback. Take a look at this. A TV presenter accidentally did the Baphomet symbol. This was done live on television, but there is something more to this symbol. The Baphomet is good, it's not evil. Religion has miseducated you to think it's evil. I'm going to break this down to you from top to bottom so that you can gain an understanding. First of all, symbols speak to your subconscious mind. Symbols activate thoughts in the invisible realms of mind. Symbols are keys to understand higher things. This symbol can be used for good and the bad. The goat is a ground animal, represents the lower self, the ego. The wings are an air animal, represents the higher self, the elevated state. The dome he's sitting on is the earth element. The fish scales on the stomach are the water element. We have the fire element, also representing human enlightenment, the higher self, and the kundalini. The wings also represent the air element. As above, so below. What happens in the mind happens in your external reality. The moon represents emotion, the feminine aspect of your consciousness. The moon is either on top of you, ruling your body, or you are standing on top of the moon, controlling your emotions. This is not the devil horns. It represents the lower self, the moon controlling you, your emotions. He's male and female, representing polarity of the physical plane, left and right. The Baphomet is a symbol which symbolizes the transformation from the lower mind to the higher mind, to a sleep, to awakened and enlightenment. I have a whole new book of wisdom coming soon, which will explain absolutely everything in detail. The Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the different body parts of your body. Anubis is the dog, which represents the tongue, the barking, because the power of life and death is in the tongue. The falcon of Horus is the inner bird, which is inside of the brainstem. Thoth, the god of wisdom. Thoth is thought, because he is the god of wisdom, the thought, the human mind. Jed pillar is the spinal column, which is a part of the brain. The Ankh is the womb, the uterus in the womb, because this is the portal into the physical world. This is symbolizing how the visual field works with the brain, because you do not see into the external world. What you are seeing is an image produced by the visual cortex in the back of the brain. The back of the casket is the cerebellum, which is all to do with motor learning and cognitive functions of the brain. The scarab is the skull. Hindus used to build temples in the human form because they understood this is the most advanced piece of technology on the face of the earth. The Most High does not dwell in houses made by human hands. It's your human body. You are God made flesh. They don't want you finding out how sacred your body is and how powerful your mind is. You are the all-seeing eye on top of the pyramid, looking into the three-dimensional world. You are Solomon's temple, the temple of the soul and the mon, the soul and the mind in the temple. If you want to learn more, read this book. Have you ever wondered why, if you minus all of the numbers on a clock, it adds up to 6? Well, here's why. 6 is the number of time, space, and matter. It represents the three-dimensional material world. Up, down, left, right, backwards, and forward. It's a 6-sided cube. 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, 24 hours in a day, 2 + 4 = 6. That's 666 in total. This is why you see black cubes everywhere you go, or the Nintendo GameCube. Jesus' cross is a cube unfolded. Jews wear a cube on top of their heads, and there's a reason why we say think outside the box. This is where it gets a bit crazy. 666 is the exact same structure of carbon, and your body's made out of carbon. The body is the mark of the beast, the mark of the three-dimensional material world. When the Bible says Satan, who's the god of this world, it represents Saturn, which is the god of time. Everything dies in time, therefore time is the god of this world. It rules this world. Everything physical began as a thought in the mind. The physical world is a shadow or an effect of thought. Therefore, your physical body is stuck in time, but your mind is outside of time. This is why your mind can go in the past and the future, but your body cannot. Thinking outside the box is a term referring to thinking outside of the physical plane, which is activating the light bodies, the eternal self, also known as astral projection. What I'm saying is your body is nothing. You are not your body. You are the eternal consciousness, which is not bound by the physical plane. You just have to awaken these other bodies. There's a secret meaning behind 666. 666 is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of creation and consciousness: thoughts, emotions, and actions. These 3 things have created your life. This is where it gets scary. The number 6 represents the cube, and this material world is created in cubes: forwards, down, up, backwards, left, and right. 6 represents the material world. 666 represents your thought, emotions, and actions, all going towards your material body and material pleasure, cutting yourself off from spirituality. Red is the slowest vibrational frequency, and it represents chaotic and intense emotions like hate and anger. You are the devil. It's not a real person. It's the lower aspects of the human mind. The voice we hear in our head that tells us to do bad things is not the devil. It's an aspect of your mind. He has a goat head. Goats are ground animals. They represent the lower self. Angels have wings, which represent the higher self.